President Donald Trump addressing a joint session of Congress.
Now, the president used the speech to a national audience to give a glimpse into the accomplishments he's already had in his first month, also detailing his success at the southern border.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Telling it like it is. For more on that, let's welcome in Republican strategist Bobby Eberle. Bobby, I mean, time after time again, you saw him not only hit the high point, but also just point out the Democrats' hypocrisy and the fact they, over and over again, they just couldn't celebrate anything that has Trump's name next to it.
No, not at all. And to describe the speech, I really have to break it down into how I describe this Trump 2.0, and that is like 1/3 of policy genius, 1/3 of energy and guts, and 1/3 of trolling. And last night at the speech, he brought out every single element. I mean, he hit on common sense issues. The White House was stressing common sense. This is the president's going to talk about these 80-20 issues, and he did that. Issues that unite the country: lower taxes, secure border, energy, foreign policy, peace. And the Democrats, by contrast, sat on their hands for everything. I mean, my greatest visuals from the Democrats are those stupid signs they held, or Nancy Pelosi or Rosa DeLauro with the purple hair. I mean, just looking so sour, they couldn't clap for anything. And that is the not only the common sense, but the trolling genius of Trump to bring out these people, these issues. I mean, they couldn't clap for the parents of these victims of senseless violence, but they also couldn't clap for no tax on tips or no tax on Social Security. I mean, the things that contrasted that the American people got to see last night. I really want to start a GoFundMe page for the Democrat consultants so we can keep paying them, because whatever they're saying is gold for us.
Yeah, you know, you're right. They couldn't clap for anything. The little boy with cancer who became the Secret Service agent for a night, you mentioned, you know, the families there. There was a lot that was brought into this speech. You know, you had the comedic moments where we had a little chuckle or there, but we also had some emotional moments. You know, he talked about illegal immigration, talked about the numbers, but he also put names and faces to the crisis that we've seen. He had Laken Riley's family, Jocelyn Nungary's family there. That made it personal, Bobby. Do you think that connected with the American people watching at home?
Absolutely. I mean, look at the polls. I mean, CBS 76% approve, CNN 69% approve. These are major numbers. This isn't 51-49 or something like that. It resonated. And to bring in DJ Daniel or some of these others, you know, Nungary and Laken Riley's parents, and it just showed that, hey, you know what? These policies have consequences, and they're a result of things happening to Americans, real people suffering. Even the men and women's sports issue hit home in a personal way. And the Democrats couldn't support that. And how hypocritical to come out and wear pink in solidarity for women, and yet no Senate Democrat could vote to protect women in sports. It's just, everything was such a contrast. And I think that's what resonated with the American people, that the president united the country with common sense issues and laid out an agenda that I think is going to be so powerful going forward.
Yeah, good point.
You know, Bobby, one of the big differences I saw, and I was in the White House during the first joint address to Congress, and so now here we are on the second joint address, but he really took these very difficult topics and made them personal, not just with the stories, but even talking to the farmers, letting Americans know that, look, we've got some major things to do, might even cause a hiccup or two in the economy short term, but we're going to be good and get through that. He really kind of basically brought people into the speech rather than just talking at them.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? I mean, again, there were some very personal moments, but when he got to the section on the farmers, somehow that was emotional. You know, I mean, he says, I'm with you, I'm fighting for you, we're in this together, we love the American farmer, you guys are going to deliver, you're the lifeblood of the country. Everything became personal, everything became emotional, and again, it draws this contrast between what these circular black, you know, signs that just were so cold, so stark. Democrats didn't stand for anything. I mean, I was trying to figure out one or two people would stand for something, but it's such a contrast to how the Democrats used to be, where they could argue on some policy, but if there's no issue that unites them at all, they are going to be in the wilderness for a long time.
No, yeah, you make a good point. And we saw one Democrat, Texas Congressman Al Green, attempt to protest the president's speech right out of the gate. Take a look.
Directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session. Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Yeah, that did absolutely nothing with the cane waving there. Just about 15 seconds. Your reaction to how the Democrats acted?
Well, you know, there's a portion of my county that has Al Green in the district, and he's just an embarrassment to the Houston area. And he epitomized the Democrats in general. I mean, that's what the Democrats are all about, protesting, sitting on their hands. It's way contrast with what the American people believe.
Yeah, absolutely. Bobby Eberle, great to have you with us this morning. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right, friends, thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button above. Once you do, tell your friends, share it, spread the word about the 13-minute news hour so we can keep growing. And for more great content, check out these videos right here, and I'll see you next time.